land was the land. Born were the chiefs, born were the people. The land of our ancestors, the land of our gods. From the midst of this land's toil and strife, from the swirling winds high on ancient mountains, to the whispering surf of timeless seas, the Hawaiian people lived, strived, loved, and cared for generations to generations. Each family like the nurturing plants of the earth, growing upon each other, sharing the subsistence of nature and united in strength. Hear the voices of our ancient bones call to our family. Come, let us carry you to another time, to another place. And like the turning pages of our lives, rediscover our ancient past, for these are portraits of our life.
The Polynesians of Kauai Kuapapa, ancient Kauai, were descendants of an ancient people who had migrated island to island across the Pacific Rim, seeking out new land to live in and to be united as a new-found race. With them they brought their gods and new ideas and customs to an unknown land where great chiefs ruled their land. Because of its great warrior chiefs, the most feared among the Hawaiian Islands, Kauai remained independent. The bravest hero and the strongest of most feared among the great chiefs was Kaumuali'i, son of Kaeokulani and Kamakahele. We honor Kaumuali'i and his story in the way that he gave his life to protect his island kingdom from the forces of the great king Kamehameha. Kaumuali'i was descended from the high chiefs of the past. In the verdant green mountains, his name was called to the throne, and he would be placed in a position of honor. The land will quake, the ocean will rise, and the heavens will thunder at the birth of the great warrior who would be king of Kauai.
O vake kolua me opa hana o moku kawihine na o ke kikuhana o ke kimoe ana ka papala ni hana o ke papala ana o Kauai ka moku makahia keiki makahia polawa o vake alawo ka ne ma ane ino ke aloha o iho ke aloha alohe ke akua o Kaumuali'i ngoe ma kaukau.
Ai, a Hawaii ua ike ka lau o nā ulu.
Ai. A Kauai ka he.
A Hawaii.
E Kauai ua kei ka lau o nā ulu. Ua i ka mea mai i o Kauai. E noho malia ka wa au ka e kulia o ia nei. Kane e o ia nei. E uli o ia nei me ke alohe. E la puila kalani o ke akua.
E la puila.
E la pauila kalani o ke akua no ke li no ke e o kula i hana o ke ikikane o la pavela ka honua e ke keiki o la hai kala a opi o e Nona ali kana vai hana maku
Nona ali
Nona ali hana o moku o Kauai Aula ke kupuohi, aua ke kupulaha, aya kalani ke ali o kana maela ake.
Aue.
Apulio o no Kauai.
Aue.
Apulio o no Kauai. Huana kaino no kanpo.
Huana.
Huana kaino mano kalani po. Alahano no Kauai. Aloha u aina o Kauai ua kai kala o na ulu.
Aue.
Apulio o no Kauai.
Aue.
Apulio o no Kauai.
He no Kaumuali'i.
E no Kaumuali'i. E kulele.
Like the budding of the earth, like the budding growth of a great chief, Kaumuali'i, at age 14, succeeded his father, taking his rightful place as ruler over Kauai in efforts to retain its kuapapa, peace and tranquility. Kamehameha the Great was well aware that he would come face to face with Kaumuali'i, a great ruler who would unwillingly concede his land. Thus, war would be the only means of resolving the rule of all islands by Kamehameha. The journey of a warrior king, Kaumuali'i, great warriors were known for their heroism, strength, agility, vitality, power, and wisdom. Kaumuali'i is exemplified in this segment as a young warrior, learning, growing, experiencing all the laws of the land as taught to him by his kahuna, the priest. He would have visited Great Makahiki Festival, a time of deep prayer and reverent ceremonies to maintain the laws passed down from his beloved parents and ancestors.
Ma Coco. Ai. Ma Viola. Ma Coco. Ai. Ikai Kono. Ma Coco. Ai Makaala. Kahi. Elua. Ekolu. Imua. Yava akane. Nanakamakie ko'olou. Kau ka uopua ma ka moana. Lu'ua e mua. Ka paona akane. Nanakamakie ko'olou. Kau ka uopua ma ka moana. Lu'ua e. Lu'ua e.
Ho'i hoi ka iwi kumo o nā iwi kumo o Kauai nei mai ka hikoloa. Ma'a ino I ni aloha a ke aloha. Ma'a e ho'omaka kako I nā kupuna li o Kauai. E ho'omaka ana mai a puna I mua ke ali kane. I ke kahi o nā keikia ai kanaka laua o hanahana ia ka malama ka wahine. Na ue yuka o kai o kulani ali kane. Na ue kai o ka makahele ali wahine. Na ue kalani no kai o kulani hana ue keiki kane. E o Kaumuali'i e noa. Ma'ane ino ke aloha. Ho'i ho ke aloha. Aloha e.
Kahi, lua, kolu, pa. Ke kaua loha vale mai la kaua kaumano o ka haliu kuau. I kuau aloha oe, kaua e, aloha I aloha e. Ka au I ka ihe a kane, nanaka maki e ko'olau. Kau ka opua ma ka moana, lu'ua e. Halua e. Ka au I ka ihe e kane, nanaka maki e ko'olau. Keu ka opua ma ka moana, lu'ua e. Lu'ua e.
Ula noveo. Ula noveo lai lai ka lai lai Kaumuali'i luna lai Ula noveo.
Upon the death of Kaumuali'i, his son Kaumuali'i became chief of Kauai. In the aftermath of this battle, the dead were gathered and carried to Pa'iau, piled in a great heap. Among the dead was the lead kahuna of Kauai, Kahulunui Ka'aumuku, daughter of Ku'ohu, who had fallen with Kaumuali'i in the battle of Kuki'iahu. Kahulunui Ka'aumuku had died just after midday, but at 10 o'clock that evening she was aroused by a pu'eo, Hawaiian owl, beating its wings on her head. Her eyes opened as if she were waking from a deep sleep. The pu'eo flew seaward and she had to follow. The pu'eo then led her into a valley in the mountains where she was met by another kahuna who had been brought by the pu'eo to care for her many wounds. This kahuna cared for her until her certain death in 1834. Throughout the islands, many revelations and sightings of the pu'eo occurred in times of war and death. This native Hawaiian short-eared owl is often regarded as a benevolent aumakua, family guardian in times of peace and the aftermaths of war. The Hawaiian pu'eo is held in the highest regard by our ali'i, such as Kaumuali'i.
Kaumuali'i.
Kau.
Ai, awa ia e kama.
Ia e te tonu motu, e motu motu e ia te i te hulinu. Te mai da huli pa o ilalo telo tuiti tahimu tu tabiti lohe o kahana na iki o hula kaya kali
A o hapu.
meha uvenu ai o ani o hai o Ola, que ave aiku ala agia, ia ek me tono tu, evo no tu et me ai, de ida hulinu, de ida hulia pa o ilolo itelo, tuiti taimu,
Tu tamatilo elohe.
o kahana ia hiki o hula, kaya kali.
A o hapu.
Me ka upeni e kuoi uani o hai ola a eve ai ku ala agia nena ia la pepe ka honua o ka moku I hale e ke kiubelo te puto velo lohe kanalo Emele no kama.
Hemotu, hemotu, teto, teto. Hemotu, hemotu, teto, teto. Etu, etu. Eala, eala. Etu, etu. Tetawa, tetawa. Hemotu, hemotu, tetoa, tetoa. Hemotu, hemotu, tetoa, tetoa. Etu, etu. Eala, eala. Etu, etu. Tetawa, tetawa. Hemotu, hemotu, tetoa, tetoa. Hemotu, hemotu, tetoa, tetoa. Etu, etu. Eala, eala. Etu, etu. Tetawa, tetawa. Ekule.
The great battle of Ele Ele and Hanapepehi on the plains ended the kingdom of Kauai. On one side were the Kauai chiefs still loyal to Kaumuali'i, who were armed with daggers, spears, clubs, and slings. Opposite were Kamehameha's forces, armed with rifles and cannons. The Kauai forces were too weak to overcome the Kamehameha forces, and the Kauai army was destroyed. At the death of Kaumuali'i in 1824, there was a need to bring order under Kamehameha. This was the end of the Kauai Ali'i and Kauai Kuapapa. A chant conveys the power, the mana of Kamehameha. A beautiful mele full of reverence, Kahilina'i, conquering chief. Also a place on Kauai imparts the esteem, respect, and affection for Kauai's great ali'i nui, Kaumuali'i.
Ai kalani ke ali'i I ke kupu ohi Ano hano no Kauai Aloha ku aina E vai vai nui ke ali'i Na ibikuwa mo Malama I Kauai Malama kale mo kihana o Kamalani Kahilinai.
A chant conveys the power, the mana of Kamehameha. A beautiful mele full of reverence, Kahilina'i, conquering chief. Also a place on Kauai imparts the esteem, respect, and affection for Kauai's great ali'i nui, Kaumuali'i. In the aftermath of his death, those who survived painted their legs black and carried our ritual mournings to remember the great king who shall live in the hearts of all.
Na ibikuwa mo Malama I Kauai Malama kale mo kihana o Kamalani Kahilinai. Puoa o ke ali'i maoli I kaua koko Hali a me ke aloha Hanau ke a papa nui Au hea o e kapua o kalani Ka houpo I ka lea Aina ko vehi Ano hano ko inoa o Kamalani.
We celebrate his name, Kaumuali'i, in the memory of his great works. Throughout Kauai, we proclaim his name with reverence. Kaumuali'i followed the footsteps of his mother to the throne. In 1819, the ancient kapu system was destroyed, giving way to obedience of the rules and the beliefs of the foreigners. The old social order was gone, so was Kaumuali'i. Diseases and the foreign god of Christianity would soon wash upon the shores of Hawaiian sovereign soil. It would alter the Hawaiian way of life forever. Hawaiians are born into this land, born into a people, born in to remember those who have walked before us. Kaumuali'i, cherished rule of Kauai, long live the king. Devout prayers for Kauai.
Uhola ia ka makaloala,
Pu'ai ke aloha la, Kukai ia ka haloa la, Pawehi mai na lehua, Mai ka ho'oku ia ka halawai la, Mahalo e na akua, Mahalo e na kupuna la ea, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Pu'auna ia ka makaloa la, Pu'ai ke aloha la, Kukai ia ka haloa la, Pawehi mai na lehua, Mai ka ho'oku ia ka halawai la, Mahalo e na akua, Mahalo e na kupuna la ea, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Uhola ia ka makaloa la, Pu'ai ke aloha la, Kukai ia ka haloa la, Pawehi mai na lehua, Mai ka ho'oku ia ka halawai la, Mahalo e na akua, Mahalo e na kupuna la ea, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Mahalo me ke aloha la.